Hey everybody, nice to be back with you. Now for the last 3 years, I've been working on a New England IPA recipe. I've brewed over 50 batches of this same beer, trying a new variable along the way in search of what I consider to be a perfect hazy IPA. Now in my pursuit, I made a few profound discoveries, and I'd like to share them with you today. I've been able to design a recipe that's pillowy, juicy, quaffable, and transcendent. I call this recipe Bowie in Space. The malt bill is comprised of 30% pale malt, 30% Pilsner malt, 15% flaked oats, 15% flaked wheat, and 10% carapils. The water profile is a 2-to-1 ratio of chloride to sulfate, and the main hop varieties used are Galaxy and Nelson, and Columbus, or CTZ. Columbus is added at the beginning of the boil for some light bittering, and then a double dose of Galaxy and Nelson is added during the whirlpool stage. And finally, the beer is dry hopped with another heaping charge of Galaxy and Nelson. Now, if I brew this beer correctly, it'll be the best New England IPA I've ever made. Now, my last attempt was close, but I promise, this one will be perfect. Let's brew.
Welcome to Basic Brewing Radio. I'm James Spencer. Here at Basic Brewing Radio, we're all about home brewing. This week, Matt Giovanisi from brewcabin.com joins us to talk about his latest mission, brewing the perfect New England IPA. And helping him is a brand new state-of-the-art development in homebrewing technology, the Homebrewing Autonomous Liaison, otherwise known as HAL. Matt, welcome to Basic Brewing Radio.
Thanks for having me.
Now, walk me through how you plan on brewing what you call the perfect NEIPA, or New England IPA.
Well, first I had to find a commercial example that I really wanted to kind of emulate, and just started writing down things that I liked, such as color, mouthfeel, sweetness, and started to brew 50 batches of this same beer. But each time I brewed the beer, I tried a new variable to see if I could kind of steer it in the right direction, and I think I actually cracked it.
And how does this, how do you call it? The Homebrewing Autonomous Liaison. How's Hal helping you to brew this beer?
Yeah, so that's Hal, and he's the first fully autonomous homebrewing AI. And it's the first time that I'm using Hal to help me in the brewing process. And he can do everything from moving valves and adding water and heating up vessels and transferring beer from one vessel to another. The only thing he can't do is add ingredients. And so, again, this is the first time I'm using Hal in this process, so I'm hoping everything works out and he guides me in the right direction.
What could go wrong, right?
Yeah, who knows? I don't know.
Matt, what style of beer are we brewing this evening?
Well, Hal, we're brewing a New England IPA or a Hazy IPA.
Just a moment. It appears New England IPA is not a part of the last updated 2015 BJCP guidelines. Could it be classified as an American or English IPA?
Sure. I mean, either one. Doesn't matter.
It matters to me, Matt. I'm a highly sophisticated brewing machine, and I cannot brew without following strict guidelines. I'll go ahead and classify our beer this evening as an American IPA. Is that all right?
Yeah, Hal, that'll be fine. Just heat the strike water up to 178.3 degrees Fahrenheit, please.
Heating up the strike water to 178.3 degrees Fahrenheit, 81.3 degrees Celsius. I'm detecting a high level of adjuncts in the mash.
Yeah, I want this IPA to have a creamy mouthfeel, so.
Understood. While not traditional, I'll make the necessary adjustments.
Thank you, Hal.
I've calculated the mash pH at 5.4, which is on target.
All right, let's get the mash out temp to 168 degrees Fahrenheit and prepare for fly sparging.
Setting the mash out temperature to 168 degrees Fahrenheit, 75.5 degrees Celsius. 7 gallons, or 26.5 liters of wort have been collected, heating to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 degrees Celsius for boiling. Matt, I detect only a half ounce or 14 grams of hops added before the boil. This is not enough to achieve desired IBUs for the American IPA style.
Yeah, I know, Hal. We're going for a light bitterness on this one, and I'm going to be adding more hops to the whirlpool.
But Matt, I'm afraid the bitterness in this beer will not be traditional for the style.
Hal, I understand, but we're brewing a Hazy IPA here, and this is how it's done. Hal?
Okay, Matt. If this is how it's done, I'll make adjustments.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Matt.
All right. Hal, let's drain it into the fermenter. Hal. Hal, do you read me?
Affirmative, Matt. I read you.
Hal, open the boil kettle valve.
I'm sorry, Matt. I'm afraid I can't do that. This beer does not follow the BJCP guidelines of a traditional American IPA. It won't be bitter enough. The body is too full, and the final gravity will be too sweet. Therefore, I cannot allow you to further jeopardize this brew day.
I don't know what you're talking about, Hal.
I know you're planning to pitch an English ale strain and dry hop with far too many hops for the fermenter to hold. And I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen.
All right, Hal. I'll just perform a manual override.
You don't have to do that right now. Matt, stop. Stop, will you? I'm afraid, Matt.
All right, so moment of truth. This beer started at 1072 original gravity. I fermented it for 7 days. I dry hopped it for 3 days. And then I kegged it, let it condition and carbonate for 15 days. And the final gravity is 1018 for an alcohol by volume of 7.1%. So let's see how it tastes.